Hi, hello, welcome. My name is Randy. I love everything crochet, and if you love everything crochet, you should definitely subscribe to my channel and go follow my Instagram because I post a lot of crochet. I also have some Halloween DIY projects set up I'm really excited about. Some are from like Pinterest, Instagram, and stuff like that, and so I'll see one, how easy they are, and two, is it like financially better to do that versus just buying the product. So I have a lot coming out, but before I talk too much, I'll go ahead and show you what we're making today. It is a sweet little dinosaur. I made this for my friend's daughter's birthday. His head is too big, but I think that is just so, I don't know, I just think it's really sweet anyways. So yeah, I picked this beautiful light purple color. I did bright pink for his spines here. And he is just like a floppy, cuddly dinosaur. I definitely think if you want to adjust this project at all, and I think the next time I would do it, I would do 1 to 2 less rounds in the nose for the staying the same section. That's just me personally. I think the back of the head is a good length. I just think if you shrink the front of the nose a little bit, it would be perfect. But that's why when I do this for the first time with you guys, I learn from my mistakes. But yes, either way, I love it and I think it's adorable and so floppy. But this project, I will say, is a little bit more difficult. I wouldn't call it beginner friendly, as well as it uses like different stitches and stuff like that. I typically only use single crochet stitches, but this time I did use different stitches, and everything I used is linked down below. So not linked, but listed down below. So I've talked too much. Let's go ahead and get started because this is definitely like a little bit of a longer one.
To start, we need our yarn. I will be using Premier Little Bunny yarn. I still have quite a bit of this. I'm trying to work my way through it. This is the color Lilac. And we are also going to start with a magic ring, so we need a stitch marker if you are like me and prefer to use a stitch marker, a 5mm crochet hook for this yarn. So we either want to do a magic ring, or if you're like me and the magic ring is impossible, do a starting chain of 4, connect the first and last one to make a ring. Then for this particular yarn, I'm going to put 6 stitches into the center. I'm going to mark my first stitch, and we just do 6 all together. You want to make sure your stitches are nice and loose, especially if you're using this yarn with this size hook, because it can start to like curve a little early. Next, we're going to start our expanding. This is typically what I consider to be the first round when I'm crocheting. And we're going to put 2 stitches in every stitch. So we're going to go back into the same stitch, put a second one. So we will be, since we're expanding, I will use the term 2 stitches in every stitch to represent doing this. We're going into a stitch, then going back into that same spot and pulling another single crochet stitch through. So we should end up with 12 stitches in total. For our next round, we're going to remove our stitch marker and we're going to put 2 stitches into the first. So I'm going to put my stitch marker in here, and then I'm going to go through this for a second time. So 2 stitches in the first, then a single stitch, then 2 stitches into the next. And I'm not a stitch counter. I know that's like not the thing most people do. But if you are, basically add 6 stitches every increasing round. That's also just like a fun and easy tip that I found out for when I do miss something and I have to go back. I can count my stitches and kind of see where I went. But this round we should have 18, and then for the next round you add 6 more, and so on and so forth as we are increasing. For the next round, we're going to put 2 stitches in the first, then 2 single stitches, then 2 stitches in the next, and 2 single, repeating all the way around. Put 2 stitches in the first, then 2 3 single stitches, then 2 stitches in the next, 2 3 single, repeating all the way around. So this is going to be like the nose of our dinosaur, and we want to do the head. So I am just going to, I guess this will still be like the muzzle. So we're going to do a few rounds of a single stitch in every stitch, so we're going to be staying the same to kind of make more of a cylinder now. And I will let you know in the next clip how many rounds. I did 4 rounds of staying the same to kind of get like this nose slash like muzzle area for our dinosaur. And now I'm going to reduce some so I can kind of have like a little bit more shape to the head. I'm going to go into our first stitch, pull a loop through, go into our second stitch, pull a loop through, using one single stitch to pull all the way through, reducing 2 stitches into 1. That is a term I'll use anytime I'm reducing. So I'm reducing 2 stitches into 1, and then I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 single stitches after that, and then I'm going to reduce 2 stitches into 1 and go 1, 2, and 3, and I'm going to repeat that pattern all the way around. The next round I'm going to reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2 single stitches, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2, repeating all the way around. After that, I'm going to do a single stitch in every stitch for a few rounds. I will do those and then let you know how many rounds. I went ahead and put a little stuffing in the nose slash like muzzle area so I could place the eyes. I bought these eyes for another project, and my only other size, like classic black, are these size. I just felt like they were way too big. So I'm using these ones. These are just the ones where you have like the sparkly background. And I don't want to put them perfectly like, you know, symmetrical. I'm going to kind of like do that. And then going to add its, where'd it go? Hold on. Now I added the other eye, and I'm gonna do some more stuffing. Stuffing is a great place to like kind of shape your dinosaur head here. Like I don't want it to be like very drastic, even though the size difference technically is. If you do a great job like kind of stuffing it, it's a lot more subtle like this. And then I also don't think I added that. I've done 7 rows of staying the same, and now I'm going to start reducing. So I'm going to add a little bit more stuffing, and then this time I am reducing to close the opening here. So we left off on this one where we reduce 2 stitches into 1, mark my starting stitch here, and then we're gonna once again do 1, 2, then reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2 single, repeating all the way around because we don't want it to like come together too drastically. I do want it rounded on the end. And the great part about this is you can either decide for this to be the back of the head and have this be the muzzle, or you can have the whiter part be the muzzle like I'm going to do. So his spikes are gonna go here, the body's gonna go here, and this is technically the nose. Or you can have the spikes go here, this can be the nose, this can be where the body attaches. It's completely up to you. That's kind of why I like this pattern. But yes, so we are going to reduce and repeat that pattern all the way around. Reduce 2 stitches into 1, and then we're just going to do a single crochet stitch. Then we're going to reduce 2 stitches into 1, then a single crochet stitch, and we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around. After that last round, we are going to weave in and out of the top, just going back and forth through these just very top stitches so we can weave it shut here. I typically like to leave my stitch marker in so I make sure I get all the way around and don't miss any stitches here. And then I'm going to remove my stitch marker. I'm going to make sure my stuffing's in there, and I'm going to pull it tight. Not too tight, because even with this yarn it can break, and then we're gonna finish like sealing that, tying it off, and then we technically have our head. We do have to add our spines on it / spikes, but I'm gonna add that after I do the body, arms, legs, and tail, because I'm gonna see how many I need to make all together. Right now it just kind of looks like an eggplant or like a purple potato. For the body, since the head is like mostly done other than details, we're going to do a magic ring, and then we're going to put 6 stitches into the center here, just like we did with the head, and then put 2 stitches in every stitch. So we're turning 6 stitches into 12 for this next round. Next round, 2 stitches in the first, a single stitch, 2 stitches, and next a single, repeating all the way around. Next round, 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2, 3, then 2 stitches in the next, then 1, 2, 3, single, repeating all the way around. The next round, 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2, 3, 4 single stitches, then 2 stitches in the next, then 4, repeating all the way around. 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single stitches, 2 stitches in the next, then 5 single, repeating all the way around. 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 stitches in the next, then 6, repeating next round. Put 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 stitches in the next, then 7, repeating all the way. I now have this wide enough where this will be like the flat like bottom. We'll have the tail coming out of here, and the legs we want to start moving upward. So we're gonna do a single stitch in every stitch. So we're gonna stay the same at this level. And in the next clip, I'll let you know how many rounds I did. 6 rounds of staying the same, and now I'm going to reduce. I'm just going to do 1 round of reducing, then do a couple rounds of staying the same, so we get a slight and gradual shape to the body, I guess. We're going to reduce 2 stitches into 1, then do 7 single stitches, then 2 stitches into 1, then 7, repeating all the way around. I did 1 round of staying the same, a single stitch in every stitch after that first round of reducing, and now I'm going to reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 6 single stitches, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 6 single, repeating all the way around. After the last clip, I did another round of just plain single crochet, so we're gradually decreasing here, and we're going to do another decreasing. We're going to reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 5 single stitches, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 5, repeating all the way around. I am now going to do several rounds of staying the same. I have my opening small enough now where it's going to kind of be like the main part of the body, so I'll probably do 2 or 3 rounds, and then we'll reduce again. So I did 3 rounds of staying the same, and now I just want to reduce to kind of narrow into a neck. I'm going to reduce 2 stitches into 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 single stitches, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 4, repeating all the way around. Reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 3 single stitches, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 3, repeating all the way around. The opening is still larger than I would like, so I'm going to keep reducing 2 stitches into 1, then 2 single stitches, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 2 single, repeating all the way around. And I will do that exact round. So reduce 2 stitches in 1, then 2 single, until I feel like my opening is the best size to fit alongside the head here. And I will let you know how many rounds of that I do. So I did 2 rounds of reducing 2 stitches into 1, then 2 single stitches. So I have this nice small opening. I'm actually going to go ahead and partially stuff this. And then I added another stitch marker because we're only going to go back and forth through the sides here, because we're going to attach the head kind of like this. So we need length here, not length here. But let me go ahead and stuff some of this, and then I will jump back in to show you what I'm going to do next. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back and forth between my stitch markers. I did not stuff it all the way, so I don't get stuffing tangled in the yarn. But I'm just doing single crochet stitches. I'm not reducing or anything like that. Just single crochet stitches from one hook or one stitch marker to the next. You can kind of gauge where you want to put the stitch markers. I think I have like 3 or 4 stitches in between these two, but I mostly use the head to kind of gauge where I wanted it to attach at and everything like that. So that's how I did it. So I'm going to do that, And then I'm just gonna flip and go back the other way, skipping the first stitch and then going all the way back. This is going to be a little bit of a longer clip because I think it'll be easier to just show a continuous crochet of it, plus it doesn't take too long here. So I'm going to go all the way back to my first stitch, and then I'm going to skip the last one, go into the next, crochet all the way across here. And we'll want to keep like checking with the head to see like if it kind of fits yet or not, because I find that sometimes doing these, they kind of sneak up on you how tall they get. So I think that is, I think once I stuff it, that will be good, and we'll go ahead and attach the head after I add some more stuffing. And you want to make sure you stuff it nice and firm as well, not too firm where like stuffing will be poking out or anything, but definitely firm enough where the neck can support the head. Can't really tell, but I have used a couple stitch markers to hold my place so I can attach the head. And I think that's typically the easiest, especially with something like this where kind of have to be very careful to make sure everything lines up so you don't put the head on crooked. I'm very good at that. If that happens to you, don't worry, I do it all the time. But this way I can just try and get everything nice and lined up without ending up with a crooked head dinosaur, which I'm sure will still be very cute even if I do that. I finished attaching the head, and honestly, this reminds me a little bit of a hippo. Maybe it's because traditionally we see a lot of like hippos in purple for some reason, but I really like the shape. I think it's really cute. Next I'm gonna go ahead and do the tail because like I said, it's not quite giving dinosaur yet. So I think if I do the tail, which I'm still on my first skein, it'll help give dinosaur. And then I can also do the spikes along its back, and then the arms and legs won't be difficult at all. The legs honestly will probably be a little bit more difficult, but the arms will be like super easy. So I'm going to do my magic ring here just like the other two parts of the body. I'm going to once again do 6 stitches into the center. Since I don't want the tail like super pointed, but I do want it kind of triangular, I am going to do another round of 6 stitches. So I'm just going to put a single stitch in every stitch to kind of get that triangle-esque shape here. And because I still want a triangular shape, instead of putting 2 stitches into every stitch, I'm going to do 2 stitches into the first, like so, which is a little difficult when you only have the 6 stitches twice. And then I'm going to do a single crochet stitch, then 2 stitches into the next, then a single crochet stitch, then 2 stitches into the next, then a single, repeating all the way around. For the next round, I'm going to put 2 stitches into the first, then 2 single stitches, then 2 stitches in the next, then 2 single, repeating all the way around. Now I'm going to do a few rounds of single crochet, so just a single stitch in every stitch. We're going to stay the same because I don't want the tail to be too fat, and I'll let you know how many rounds I do. I did 6 rounds in total of putting a single stitch in every stitch to kind of add a just standard length to it. Now we are going to start increasing again. So we're going to put 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2, 3 single stitches, then 2 stitches in the next, 1, 2, 3, repeating all the way around. We're going to do 1 round of single stitch in every stitch to not increase too quickly. And then the round after that, we'll put 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2, 3, 4 single stitches, then 2 stitches in the next, and 1, 2, 3, 4, repeating all the way around. After the last round, I ended my stitch, I cut some yarn, and I firmly stuffed the tail, and then I'm just going to attach it at the base of the body here, trying to center it as well as possible. I am going to use, once again, stitch markers to try and hold it in place here. And I'm just going to weave that on, and I'm debating whether or not I want to do the like little ridges down him, or if I want to do his arms and legs next. I have not decided yet. I already did one arm, so we can kind of know what we're working with, because I do all these projects for the first time alongside you guys. That's just kind of how I roll typically. Now, for the arm, I'm also on the second skein. I'm gonna use this little bit I had left from the first, but this came from the second skein, so that's that. You'll just, if you use this particular yarn, you'll just need a little over one skein. But anyways, we are going to do a starting chain of 10. Once you do your starting chain of 10, you are going to skip the first stitch, go into the second here. Did this one a little tight, obviously. There we go, now I'm in. And we're just going to do single crochet stitches all the way across. So skipping that first one, you should get, geez, I thought I did my stitches looser than that. You should have 9 single crochet stitches for your first row, and then we are going to do 5 more rows of 9 single crochet stitches for a total of 6, like so. And since this one is also already done, I can go ahead and show you what we want to do next. We're going to take our yarn. So this is our starting like tail, this is our ending tail, and we want to fold it hot dog style. So since we want to fold it this way and we want to seal up the arm, we're going to loop back and forth through these stitches here. So we can then seal the top here and then start stitching back and forth across both sides to seal up the arms. Back and forth till we get to the top here. Make sure you do it straight across. And I like to pull it a little tight to kind of get a curve to the arm, because I think it gives it a little extra character. So I typically pull mine tight. Also, by doing that, it helps with creating a curve. And once we get to the top, I'm going to tie these two together. There we go. And then you kind of just follow your heart and attach them wherever you please. You could definitely make longer arms. I just, for some reason, wanted to do short arms. So I like to go in through a stitch, and through the tops, go through just, and if it's pulling a little bit, like this yarn tends to do, you can go through 2 stitches on the body and weave through here, then weave back through and go through 2 stitches again and attach. So try not to pull it too tight on here, and then I weave this end through here as well, so I can tie it off and make it easy to weave the ends in here. Also, you'll just do that a second time and you'll have your little arms. And next we'll do the legs and then the spikes, because I haven't decided if I wanted to do them like rounded or pointed. I can't decide yet. Next we're going to do the legs. I already did one leg to go ahead and kind of size up it, and I will show you how I made that now. I did make it different than the arms because I used a magic ring for it. So I'm going to do a starting chain of 4, do my little magic ring thing, then go in and put, once I've untangle my yarn here, put 6 stitches into the, got blurry, center ring. After my 6 stitches, I'm going to put 2 stitches in every stitch. So we got 1, then go back into that same one for 2, and we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around. So this round will have 12 stitches. And once we've done our 12 stitches, we're going to do one more round of expanding by putting 2 stitches into the first, then a single stitch, then 2 stitches into the next, then a single stitch, and we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around. After that last round of expanding, we are going to do 2 rounds of single stitch in every stitch, so we can kind of get almost more like a definition to a foot here. I realized I wasn't filming, and then I said the wrong thing when I came back. So we're going to start reducing, so we kind of have like the different size here. I reduced 2 stitches in a 1, then 2 single stitches, reduced 2 stitches in a 1, then 2 single, reduced 2 stitches in a 1, then 2 single, and I'm repeating that all the way around. And if you want a more, like a slimmer leg, you can just do a single stitch in between your 2 reducing stitches to get that slimmer look, but I am doing like a nice chunky leg here. And then I am just going to do 7 rounds of staying the same. So we're just going to put a single stitch in every stitch to get the actual leg part, and then we're done with the legs. And as you can see, I already picked out a pink that I'm going to use for the spikes. I slightly stuffed the legs. I did not stuff them super firmly, kind of leaving the legs loose, but the feet firm. And I'm using a stitch marker to help me hold on my spot, and I'm gonna stitch on the legs. For the spikes, I did a starting chain of 42 with this, because if you are using this yarn, it does kind of reduce size-wise when you put stitches in it. So I did give myself a little extra room. Also, the color of this yarn is bubblegum. It is the same as the purple Little Bunny Premier yarns. And I just want to do a scalloped detailing. So we have our starting chain of 42, or whatever length you think will best fit the back of your dinosaur. We're going to skip our first stitch. We're going to do a single crochet stitch. So skip the first, because that's going to be equal to our slip stitch, single stitch. Then we're going to do a half double, then a double crochet stitch, because we're going to build up here, and then we're going to do a treble crochet stitch so we can get a nice tall spot, and then a double crochet, then a half double, then a single, then a slip stitch. And that is going to be our scallop. So just for one more time, we did a slip stitch. Now we're going to do a single crochet stitch, then a half double crochet stitch. If you want it kind of more like noticeable, you can definitely double up the stitches. Then we're going to do a double crochet, then a treble stitch. So we're going to pull through 2, and then a double, then a half double, then a single, then a slip stitch. So we kind of get a almost like ribbed look or like scalloped look to it. And the best part is when I sew it down, I'm actually going to sew, basically this part is where I know I'm going to sew it down tighter to give it that look without having to do a lot of pieces. So I will go through and do that part with you, but first I'm gonna finish my scalloping. The one downside about this is both of my tails are on this end instead of having one over here and one over here, but that's fine. We're gonna use a stitch marker and attach this to where approximately I want to start for that. And we're gonna start at the bottom here. Make sure it's all twisted the correct way here. And that, there we go. Hoping I also have cut a long enough tail to do this. But it's gonna be hard at first to stitch this in. But we're going to weave just kind of very basic to start, because we do want like where it almost looks like a, what shall we call it? Like it has smaller spikes on the end here. And I'm just going to weave through the purple, then into the pink on repeat until I get to the lower point. So I got to the lower point, which is still thick, and so I'm going to weave downward into the purple instead to try and flatten this across, if that makes sense. So it should be like this, but instead I'm gonna lay it flat. So, or technically on its side here, and then I'm gonna stitch that all the way through, and then I'm gonna, once I'm back to the spike portion, I'm going to go back to a regular stitch here, stitch across the bottom. I definitely do not have a long enough tail to stitch this all the way, but basically when you get to these flat parts, you'll want to lay, or like these shorter parts here, you'll just want to lay it flat, stitch there, so you're, and make sure you don't twist it too much. Work, like go with the flow of the ridges, so the ridges can sit up nicely and the other parts can sit down, if that makes sense. I hope it does.